Morning, everyone. It's Mark, the Bowlerhat Farmer. Feeling somewhat subdued this morning, so I thought, well, I'm going to have a chat with you guys and just get your opinion on something. Because the other day I did a video saying about support the farmers, go out and, if you see them in the supermarket, give them a toot toot and all of this. And then I spoke with my friend Richard Vobes, who did a very controversial video, I understand, on his channel. And you might want to go and check that out because it gives a completely different slant on things. And one of the things Richard covered in that was questioning, is it the right thing to be doing? And I'm just going to go back in history, if I may. And history was something at school I loved, I studied. It was one lesson I did turn up for, to be honest. And I thought I'd just go back over why Richard has concerns about this and in turn myself and a lot of other people in the farming community who do understand where this is going. So just to give you an idea, over the last 100 years, when communism has come into a country, one of the things what they use against the collection of the community is, especially the Christian community, I will say, is very much that they use food as a weapon and they use starvation to control the masses. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that's what's going on here. This is just hypothetically speaking. But let's just play devil's advocate for a moment and look at history. So in China, communists came in and they did something very clever. They got the farmers to stop growing food and formed ways for the farmers not to grow food. Same thing happened in Russia with the Bolsheviks. They outlawed the opportunity for farmers to produce food. And as a result of that, less food was produced. The farmers went on strike about it. They had their land taken away from them in a land grab opportunity. And that's one of the big things we're seeing in the UK at the moment is lots of different ways in which the government can grab land. The H2 railway line, and that was a classic example of this. And we're seeing it now with inheritance tax for farmers to fear what is going to happen to them and their family farms. So do you think that farmers should be striking? Because here's where I see the challenge in this. And I believe the farmers need to do something. Strike's the wrong word. I've seen this, take action. Action is a better word I'm going to use. So to take action, because if the farmers don't take any action, they're going to get railroaded over. And within the next 3 to 4 years, we're not going to have any farmers left in the UK to produce any food. For those who follow me regularly will know my thoughts are very concerning towards the food supply chain. And it is my opinion that within the next months, I'm going to say, there is going to be a desecration of the food industry. And how I think this will play out, and you can mark this in your calendar, the farmers in the next few days are going to start taking action. In fact, it actually starts today, the 10th of January. By the 17th, a week's time, they're going to be taking the tractors to the supermarket car parks where they will talk to the public and enlighten the public on why this is all going on. Okay? So as a result of that, I believe the government will twist and turn this and throw it back on the fact that the reason there's no food in the supermarkets is because of the farmers. Now, I don't believe will be the case. I believe the farmers will take action. That will slow down the food supply. The supermarkets, who have no desire to stand by farmers anyway, will then hold the food up in the system. And in the system, it will sit until the government says release it. Now, bearing in mind that Sainsbury's have already got their 2030 agenda out there, and in it, it says they do not require farmers. So by 2030, their aim is to have all food produced in factories. Okay? All food produced in factories, whether that's synthetic meat. And I've spoken about this, and please, I'm banging the drum, and there's a reason I'm banging the drum, because I genuinely believe we are in trouble. So synthetic meat is going to be grown in labs. They don't want us to have grain. That's going to be a thing of the past, okay? All flour will be produced by crickets and bugs. Don't believe me? Go in a supermarket and check on the backs of the packets. It's already in there. Flour's been removed from a lot of products already. What they're doing is putting this in. Now, I can't remember the name of it, but there's a particular part of the insect that we can't digest, and that causes a poison in the body, so we then become allergic to it, and they don't care. They just don't care. They have no place for us to be on this planet and care. So when the food runs out, this is what I think will happen. The farmers will get the blame. The public will turn against the farmers. The farmers will then be pushed off of their land by the government and the public. We have to stand against this, and we need to stand up fast, guys, right? 2030 agenda is steamrolling down the railway track at 1,000 miles an hour, and bringing with it socialism, communism. I don't know. I don't understand enough about that side, but what I do know is we're losing our freedoms, and I don't want to be part of that. We set up the Food Hub, foodfindershub.co.uk. We set it up knowing what was going on. We set it up with the belief that farmers producing food, and I say food, not sugar, not wheat, not barley, food, whether that be a dairy product, whether that be fruit and veg, whether that's meat, whatever it might be, but producing a product, could sell that product direct to the general public. The general public could go to that website, and the general public can buy that direct from the farmer. Within the next few days, we're going to be launching several new things on there. One of them will be the opportunity for farmers to sell direct to you via the actual hub, rather than you just finding out where they are. You'll be able to physically sell on there. Next, we're going to be launching worldwide, because we've had so much, and I mean just a huge demand for us to take this overseas. People wanting to come on board, from farmers, marketing companies wanting to help us get involved, and all over the shop. So what's the plan? And this is the magic question. Just the reason I say what's the plan is because when Pete and I first spoke about building the site, Pete looks after my social media, and I said to Pete, I'd love to do this. And Pete said, well, I can build that. And he's made a great job. So now some more IT people are getting involved to work out some of the quirks. So bear with us, because that is all getting sorted out. Now, onward and upwardly, we want to bring on, and you may have seen in my video yesterday, we've got a thing called van lifers running in the UK, but I think there's about 380,000 people living in camper vans. And as a direct result of that, they want to be able to go and work on farms, and the price they charge the farmer is somewhere to stay in a dinner. Okay, if they get paid, it's just a bonus. Now, there's going to be a way on there, in fact, that's going live shortly, where farmers can advertise their jobs that they've got coming up. So they can say, you know, we need 50 people to come and help put a polytunnel up. And 50 people can apply for that volunteer role. There's lots of things we're looking at. There's going to be an opportunity for farmers to put up projects they want to fundraise for. So a lot of the and when I say farmers, I'm not talking about big farmers. I'm talking about people like myself that farm a few acres and grow a large amount of food in a small area. And if we wanted to put up a polytunnel, for instance, what's going to cost, I don't know, a couple of £1,000, and we haven't got the money, we want to be able to get the public to help us fund that. So the idea is that farmers will be able to advertise on their page things they're looking to fund, and you'll be able to find on a funding section things that you might go, yeah, that's a great idea. I'd like, if someone's starting a micro dairy, for instance, you might say, well, I'll donate £5 to that. And we'll be able to support and help those farmers as we progress through this transition. The transaction will happen on there afterwards. So the transition, what I think needs to happen is taking us through from where we are in the current food system that is failing us, that is poisoning us, that is completely 100% done. The system's broken. Let's get rid of it. But what do we replace it with? It needs to be replaced with small, local, independent growers growing things sustainably. They need to be growing, more importantly, in my opinion, organically. And they need to be growing, without any doubt at all, seasonally and environmentally. These are the things we need to be looking at. Are supermarkets pushing any of that? They might give you the lip service and tell you they are, but they're really not. So we, the thousands upon thousands of you that have already joined the site, the foodfindershub.co.uk. If you haven't yet joined, please send this message out to other people. This is an opportunity for people to buy direct from farmers. avoiding the supermarkets and the additives they put. Bear in mind, farmer grows a chicken and you buy a chicken from a farmer, you've got a good quality chicken, right? Even if it's been raised poorly, it's still a good chicken, right? Here's the issue I have, and really do have. When the chicken leaves the farmer and it goes to a processing plant where it goes through, it gets everything done to it. It's pumped full of water, pumped full of steroids to bulk it up and make it look big and full and packaged lovely. And it comes out the other end with, added salt and added water and added this and added saline. Everything's added to it. All stuff what is poisonous to us. We don't want it. We don't need it. So why should we bloody well have it? I don't want it. I just want good quality food in my stomach. So, and I know I'm not alone, because since we've started on this quest, about 6 months ago, and we started doing the videos, we've now gained over 50,000 people across our social media. So thank you all for taking the time to listen to our videos, for sharing, for liking, for passing on the word, for spreading the word about the Food Finder Hub. So foodfinderhub.co.uk. If you haven't yet signed up, get yourself there. If you can't find a farmer in your area, here is my suggestion. Send them via, however, messenger, go in and see them, email it, Facebook it to them, whatever. Send them a link to the site and say, please sign up on here. Customers are waiting to buy direct from you. So a lot of people message us. We've had over 200 messages from people saying, oh, there isn't anything in my area. Well, here's a message to your 200 people. Please, please, please go talk to farmers. I can't do everything, right? The ambassadors are working as hard as they can. We've got 480 ambassadors signed up. Please, 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 those ambassadors are working round the clock. Lots of them, taking out leaflets. Called a guy yesterday, he's in his 70s and he's become an ambassador. He's in Bury St Edmunds. Joe, thank you so much for all you're doing for us. Joe is out delivering flyers for us today around a little village where he's concerned about what's going on, where the farmers want to build on the land and so forth. There used to be a brilliant farm shop there. It's no longer there. It's the people like Joe that are making the difference. Okay. So if you're a customer and you can't find anything in your area, maybe you need to sign up as an ambassador. The ambassadors are all people who want the same thing. They want good quality food on the table for not only themselves, their families and other people. Is that too much to ask, guys? I genuinely ask that question. So, with love from me to you guys, thank you. Please like and share. I know this is a bit longer than normal, so I appreciate you sticking with us. Don't forget, you can donate at thefoodfinderhub.co.uk, and you will find at the bottom there is a donation button, foodfinderhub.co.uk. There is a donation button at the bottom where you can donate to keep us spinning, because we don't actually know how to work any money out of this. So, guys, thank you all so very much. Big love from us, and we will in turn speak to you all soon.